War veteran and chef Cody Lindsay is sharing his cannabis culinary experience with anyone and everyone. He's known as the wellness soldier, but cannabis at one point destroyed and saved his life at the same time. Cody, good morning to you.
Good morning, Trish. Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit more about that. It destroyed and saved your life at the same time. What do you mean by that?
Well, I started using cannabis a lot more to help symptoms that I felt from being overseas.
Okay.
To help my brain calm down and just relax. But of course, it wasn't considered a medicine back then, and it definitely was frowned upon in the military. So ultimately, I lost my career for using cannabis.
Okay.
But then at the same time, just like you said, it saved my life because that's what started making me feel better. That's what made me feel, just like I said, better, and to help other people and to get out there.
And when you say better, so emotionally?
Emotionally, mentally, physically, yeah.
So then let's talk about how you became the wellness soldier and what that title means.
100%. The Wellness Soldier is kind of a play on words because I am a veteran and I started the website to help other veterans.
Okay.
So again, just kind of a play on words, the Wellness Soldier, looking to help other veterans. And we started the Wellness Soldier to help Canadian veterans with the things that I use to help my operational stress injuries, which is meditation, fitness, healthy eating, and medical cannabis. And as I saw veterans and the veteran community around me, not living their lives to the best full potential that they could, I tried to step in and fill a gap and try to provide the information out there to help them.
So it's really not just about the use of cannabis, but it's adopting this whole healthy lifestyle.
Exactly, the whole kind of full spectrum type healthy living. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're not using cannabis to get high. You're incorporating it as part of a medical wellness lifestyle,
regime.
as you mentioned. Okay. And you are going to be cooking with cannabis oil on the show today.
That's right.
All right. What are you going to be making for us? And I know we're going to check back in with you.
That's right. We're going to do two. We're going to do two sessions. We're going to first talk a little bit about dosing before we get into the real nitty-gritty of cooking with cannabis.
Okay, perfect.
And then we're going to be making a steak with a horseradish cream sauce. And then when we come back from the break, we're going to be making a herb vinaigrette salad dressing.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
all right.
Two super simple recipes.
This is certainly a whole new world for us now that the product is legal, right? So there will probably be a lot of people that will be looking at incorporating cannabis oil into their cooking.
And of course, people many years being a stigma associated around it, smoking is just not quite there. Some people, that's the last step that they're going to take is that, but one of the first steps is cannabis oils, and that's the first step that we're going to be using today. We're going to be using licensed producer cannabis oils.
Okay.
This is from Tilray. They are my licensed producer. This is who I get my medical cannabis from. And if people wanted to learn how to cook with cannabis, like the basics on how to infuse raw flower into N medium, we just came out with a new course on thewellnesssoldier.com that shows people how to do that. But that's more of an intermediate thing. If you're a beginner, you're going to want to start with LB cannabis oils like this, because these numbers on the front tell you exactly how much milligrams of THC and how many milligrams of CBD per milliliter. So you might say, well, why does that matter? Why do I need to know that? Well, a lot of people, edibles have a bad rap because for that reason. If it's too high in THC, you get that overwhelming feeling that people don't like, and then people say, oh, I don't like edibles because that happened to me, and it's horrible, but they didn't know. So that's why we're going to start with this. So if you wanted to go as low as 1 milligram per milliliter, you know that you can.
Sure. Okay, you're just making sure that you're paying attention to what's on the label there.
What's on the front label, yeah. So if you open it, it says 520. So what that means is per milliliter, there's 5 milligrams of THC and 20 milligrams of CBD. So if we pull that up, we know that within that milliliter is what it says from Health Canada regulations. This is 5 milligrams of THC and 20 milligrams of CBD
and that
in
is
this
the
milliliter.
Breakdown. All right, so some important tips there for sure. And coming up, we will be cooking with the cannabis oil. We're going to get right into the recipes after the break. Now that we've got the breakdown of
the dosing.
Yes,
exactly.
yes. Thank you very much, Cody. Earlier in the show, we introduced you to Cody Lindsay, who is back to share his cannabis culinary experience with us this morning. Cody, we're now going to get right to it. We're going to start cooking with cannabis. So tell us about the recipe you've created and how much cannabis oil we're using.
For sure. So we're going to start with the salad dressing. So
Okay.
right now in here we have a couple tablespoons of basil, a couple tablespoons of oregano, 1 or 2 cloves of garlic. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add a little bit of spice of life. A little salt and pepper.
Okay, excellent.
And then if you're ever making a vinaigrette, the best ratio to use is 2 to 1. So 1 part vinegar
Okay, excellent.
and 2 parts olive oil.
Love this. Nothing like a homemade salad dressing,
And it's super
right?
simple. You can see all we did was just throw everything in there. Then we're just going to take our
I'm stepping back so it doesn't get all over me.
immersion blender.
Little
and just-
handheld blender there. Oh, you are making it really easy. I've done a recipe before where it's gone into the full-on blender and then it's such a mess. And
So then we're
This is
just going
great.
to keep that off the side. And then one thing we're going to do is now you can decide if you want to dose the whole salad dressing
okay,
or wait until afterwards. So if you wanted to dose the whole thing, then you just add it to here. So now we're going to be using this one, nice easy numbers, 10 and 10. So if we put a full milliliter of cannabis oil into this salad dressing, like we will right now, and we mix it up.
and then you mix it up.
We know 100% that this salad dressing has 10 milligrams of CBD and 10 milligrams of
Right, because
THC.
as we explained earlier, it's all listed on the
On the label,
vials.
on the
yes,
front. That's right,
okay.
as per Health Canada regulations.
Okay, now what is it doing to the flavor? Because I will fully admit I don't know
No,
much
100%.
about cannabis oil or definitely cooking with it, but
If you're going to get the licensed producer cannabis oils,
Yes.
you're going to have some flavor, but
Okay.
really not too much.
Right.
Whereas if you're cooking at home, you're going to impart more of the flavor because it's just a different extraction process cooking at home than it is versus the obviously $1 million machines that create those
yes.
extractions.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and then as far as and I suppose it depends on the concentration that is in the recipe. Are we experiencing some kind of effects by consuming it this way?
100%. You will. It'll process through your bloodstream, which it'll go into your stomach, absorb into your stomach, work through the bloodstream into your liver,
Okay.
and then be dispersed out throughout your body. So the effects last longer. That's why a lot of people use them, edibles, because they last longer. Whereas smoking or vaporizing is gone within.
So
an
it takes
hour
a
to
little
an hour and a
longer to
half.
kind of work through your system this
Takes
way than
longer to work through,
yes,
and then
right.
stays longer as well.
Okay,
So
got it.
that's a very big bonus for people. So
All
the
right.
next recipe that we're going to do
Yes.
is the horseradish cream sauce. So right now we just have some horseradish, some cup of sour cream. We're just going to take our lemon, squeeze a lemon.
Ooh, and who doesn't love a little horseradish with their beef, right?
With their nice prime rib steak that we already
Exactly.
got cooked up. Then we're just going to add our 1/4 cup of horseradish. Chop up some chives. Nice trick for the chives is just fold it.
Now, if someone is new to cooking with cannabis oil, I would imagine you sort of recommend that they start with smaller doses.
Yeah,
as
the
they're-
old, as the saying says, start low and go slow.
Okay,
And then
low and slow.
that's the greatest thing about, again, is the LP cannabis oils is that you can start as low as 1 milligram. Just as much as like I put on perfume, just a little shake on the finger.
Sure.
Try it on your tongue, wait.
See how you're feeling about it.
Especially for a beginner, 100%, 100%.
What has the reaction been as you have been out? As we mentioned, you're the wellness soldier, and you're out educating people about the use of medical marijuana. But what are you hearing from folks who have tried these recipes and hearing your story?
Just thanks and praise. This cooking with cannabis is a science. There's a lot of math involved, especially if you're going to do it at home and not have these LP cannabis oils. There's a lot of math involved, and people are scared of the math. But the math is what determines your dosage, and your dosage is what determines if you have a good experience on it or not. Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
Excellent. So education is obviously key, and
Education
you want to
is
be
key.
careful before you
Exactly.
start.
And that's why we put out our newest video series, teaching people the exact way to calculate the THC, the decarboxylation conversion,
Right.
and then the conversion from raw flower to N medium, because again, it's.
Well, and as we were talking about earlier in the show, Cody, I mean, this is a whole new world now that cannabis is legal here in Canada. And so, yeah, you know, these are conversations that people are having about incorporating them into recipes. And what do I do? Okay, so you've got your horseradish cream here.
We got the lemon juice going. We got the horseradish. We got the chives. Same thing. We just got a little spice of life, salt and pepper.
Perfect. Well, then it's nice that there's just nice basic ingredients there.
Easy ingredients, quick 5-second recipes.
How much oil did you put in this?
None right now. So
okay,
right now,
you haven't even mixed that in yet.
No,
okay.
Not yet. So again, we'll grab our which one do we got? So we'll go 5 and 20 this time. So again, this one we use 10 and 10. So this one's going to be a little bit less of amount of THC and more CBD. So then if you want to try more CBD, which a lot of people, new beginners, are trying first, is CBD, and then
it gives a different kind of experience.
It gives a different experience, exactly. The body, cannabis is very scientific, and within our body we have an endocannabinoid system which has CB1 and CB2 receptors, and THC and CBD affect the receptors differently.
Okay, all right, good to know. Okay, so we'll have you just mix that in there so we can kind of see the final.
That's right. So if we put that in there, we got our 5 and 20. So now we know that this whole batch has 5 milligrams of THC.
All right, the whole batch, yeah. So you want to make sure that you blend it, right?
Of CBD.
Okay.
So the same thing. We're just going to take our dressing.
The dressing.
Pour a little bit
on. The steak.
So we know that the whole thing is infused right now. If you wanted to just infuse your own, then you just add the salad dressing into, or then you add the cannabis oil
into your own.
Just into this, and then you know this amount is infused with cannabis oil only.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very much, Cody. So we're going to let you plate that.
Just real quick. I'll be done real quick here,
sure.
No problem. And then just put a little bit.
Oh, this is looking, looks great.
On top.
Cody Lindsay is the wellness soldier. If you'd like to know more about him, you can head to our website, ctvottawamorninglive.ca. You can also visit him at the Cannabis and Hemp Expo this weekend at the Shaw Centre. This is what we mean by things are changing. This world is changing. We now have a Cannabis Expo happening. This looks wonderful, Cody, and thank you so much for your time this morning.